All right, we are live.
What?
All right. You're listening to the Substation Gaming Podcast. I'm Lucas. With me, I have Black Chestnut.
Hello.
And Ricola. Today we're going to be discussing this week's news, the first one being the new Zelda Amiibo.
Yeah, for Skyward Sword, its new port on Switch, which is... Actually, how soon is that coming out?
I can't remember the release date off the top of my head.
But, yeah. Later this year.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. Anyway,
This
main
is
takeaway from the Amiibo is what it actually does in game when you use it, which it allows you to automatically go back up to the sky no matter where you are in the world, which usually in Skyward Sword, in order to do that, you'd have to go to like the save points
right.
in order to go back to the sky. So this is just like a huge convenient quality of life update.
Yeah,
It's
sounds nice.
essentially locked behind like a $20
Sounds nice.
Amiibo.
Plastic paywall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, usually the Amiibo features are either just cosmetic or cool gimmicks you'll never use, but I don't know, this like actually sounds something like nice. Like
Yeah, I mean, this isn't even like the first time they've unlocked like a lot of substantial content behind Amiibos. Back in like Samus Returns, they unlocked like the hardest difficulty behind an Amiibo. That was also like really hard to get because it only came with like the collector's edition.
Right. I mean, this Amiibo looks really cool too compared to some of the Amiibos that have come out, which have been pretty bland and basic looking. It is a pretty cool looking Amiibo.
They've been getting better overall, I feel like.
yeah.
On average, the Amiibos have been looking a lot nicer, and I agree, the Amiibo does look really nice.
The Skyward Sword remake it estimated to be July 16th, 2021. So.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, this Amiibo's gonna come out. They're not gonna make nearly enough. It's gonna be like $70.
Oh yeah, it's already like sold out everywhere.
right.
The game's also in the game's $60 a pop.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I remember I bought like Skyward Sword back on the Wii when it came out, and I got a controller with my copy, and that was only $60.
Yeah, why
It
don't
came
they
with a
release
fucking controller?
24-karat gold Joy-Con? Although,
Yeah.
to be fair, Skyward Sword did need that controller to function. It needed...
Yeah.
It was like Donkey Kong coming with the expansion pack.
That was the didn't this game come with that golden Wii remote?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It came with
that's the one
Wii
I'm
remote that had the
referring
Motion
to.
Plus built-in,
Right. Okay.
so it could
Yeah, it was
You
a
know.
gold Zelda theme Wii remote. I still have it.
Yeah, I was just about to say Black Chestnut. Don't you? I think I saw it last time I was over your house. It was pretty cool looking.
Yeah. It is
I
like the
always just
coolest
use-
Wii remote ever.
I always
Pretty
just use the
much.
Motion Plus that came with Wii Sports Resort with the big stupid plastic.
Yeah, that's lame.
Nah, it's awesome. But
Yeah. Honestly, like, thankfully, you can probably will still be able to use the quality of life feature by just making like an NFT card, you know? So, thankfully people can do that. Those are still kind of a pain in the butt to make those sometimes if you don't have, the
Yeah,
stuff to
Amiibo-
make them.
yeah, I've heard Amiibo emulation isn't that bad, but also annoying. Now I'm gonna take out one of my old Skylanders and put it on there and see if it works.
Yo, I have a bag of those, like at least like 40 of them, like including the giants. And I had such cool ones, like the black dude where he had the freaking this flaming sword, but his original armor was red, and he gets like it's a special edition where he's got black
Nice.
armor and the sword's like a
I haven't
pitchfork.
thought about Skylanders in 6 years. At least.
It's been a while for me too. That
But-
game was the shit when it came out.
Yeah.
It was the money machine.
It was ahead of its time, kind of. It was real life gotcha.
It was pretty fun.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
Huh.
You gotta hope and got lucky to find the ultra rare one.
Yeah. Hey, I got every single one from the original game. So I was insane.
That is insane. How much money was that all collectively? That was probably a ton.
I have no clue. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought them all like officially. I never like went to any scalper.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, yeah, the new Zelda Amiibo. Dude, is there a release date for this yet, or is it coming out with the game?
I think it's already out.
Oh, it's already out. That's probably
The
why it's
Amiibo?
I mean,
on
it
this-
might
yeah.
not be like out yet, but I know you can already pre-order it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably coming out with the.
It might come out a little earlier though.
Yeah, I'd assume similar.
All
Yeah,
right.
but I know people are already ordering them online, and they've already been sold out everywhere pretty much.
Of course.
Yeah, because you know, if you want to play through Skyward Sword and have this new feature, you're gonna have to get the amiibo,
Right.
or you know, make a amiibo card of it.
Which is, I mean, it's cool to have that aspect, but people like have already scalped this thing. So like, for someone who's just gonna buy the game and be like, oh, and figure out about the amiibo feature and like, oh, I want to go get this, then they probably can't because it's gonna be already gone off the face of the earth.
Or you know, for people who just want to have the amiibo to have the amiibo.
That too.
I don't know. It just kind of
Charging for a quality of
annoying.
life feature. Goofy.
Yeah. It's very annoying to me that Nintendo keeps locking behind like these, you know, features that just should be in the game behind,
Yeah.
you know, real life physical DLC essentially. You know, you have to go out and buy a toy in order to unlock
I never
hard
got the amiibo
mode
for
and
Smash
Metroid.
Bros.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the
I
amiibo
mean
for
that's fine,
Smash.
but you know, because like those aren't really the same as say this quality of life feature that lets you teleport. You know, it's effectively
Yes.
being able to teleport in the game. Or say what I mentioned earlier with the hard mode in Samus Returns. It's like
Yeah,
that's a difficulty mode
Yeah,
locked
that's cool.
behind an amiibo. That's hard to get because they made very few of them.
Right.
Can you even unlock it? Like I know, like for example,
You
Resident Evil
can't
8.
unlock it. You have to have the amiibo to get the
Wow.
hardest difficulty.
Like
I mean, like it's a super crazy difficulty where it's like everything kills you in 2 hits, but it's like
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like I've seen games like I know Resident Evil 8 just did this, where you can buy the hardest difficulty as DLC from the get-go if you just want to do that for your first playthrough. But
right,
but you can still just unlock it by beating the game.
right.
With Samus Returns, if it's only you have to pay extra to get it, that's
And it's even more obnoxious because it's like it's tied to like a real world item that you know is gonna be a collector's item. Like
Yeah,
just
Nintendo's-
inherently.
not great with that. I mean, look at this
Look at the what?
Yeah.
SNES Classic, where that was just
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're just not good at keeping up with when it comes to that stuff. So
Yeah, it's because they intentionally print fewer than they know people will want
yeah,
to make it so that if people who are just on the fence, you know, if they ever are in the store and they actually see it, they'll pick it up even if they don't necessarily really want it. Because they know it's like, hey, I'm not going to be able to find this retail, you know, price ever again, basically. So I might as well get it
Yeah.
now.
I mean, which in a sense is a good marketing idea, but at the same time, like it's just kind
it works for toys, but for electronics, it's really shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like a toy, like a collectible toy. Like people are using this to play the game, and I'm sure everybody who plays the game and actually would want that feature would want the amiibo for that fact. And of course, there's gonna be people like you said, Chestnut, that want it just for the fact of having it. But like for me, if I were to play this game, I would want the amiibo for that feature. But I guarantee you, I'm not gonna be able to get my hands on one, or if I do, I'm gonna pay like an arm and a leg for it off of eBay
Yeah.
or something.
And that's how it's gonna end up going.
Yeah, I hate how just in general, like how scalpers lately, like just going like for Pokemon cards as well.
Oh yeah, I've
Oh,
heard there's a big
yeah.
problem with Pokemon cards.
Like
What's that all about?
they're not selling Pokemon cards at Target anymore because apparently some
Yeah.
guy like pulled a gun on some kid.
What?
Yeah, like some guy pulled a gun on these kids because they were buying the last packs, and
Holy
Oh my God.
like he was
I didn't hear like that part of the story. Like I heard that Target was stopping them because people are getting like violent and roughhousing and stuff, but I didn't hear it was that bad.
No, somebody legit pulled a gun. Like, I am not exaggerating. Somebody legit pulled a gun in a parking lot of Target and,
Oh
like,
my God.
threatened whoever, like, had the last card packs. And, like, the
That's
dude...
crazy.
Yeah.
That is genuinely insane.
Like, it really is. Like, the extent that these scalpers are going to lately.
That sounds like something that would happen in a fucking episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wait, did they buy
the
Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
non-censored
in
4-kid
Yu-Gi-Oh?
version.
Do they buy? Where do they get the cards?
Oh, they just buy them from, like, you know...
Well,
They get booster packs?
stores. Yeah.
Wait, Target? So, like, okay, so any big, like, chain company, like Target, Walmart, they get them straight from, like, the Pokemon website, like the Pokemon Center, and
they buy them, you know, from the manufacturers.
Yeah, each location
Yeah,
gets a set amount, but since it's been, like, so popular lately, and people have coming in and buying the whole, like, rack out,
Yeah.
like, they've been
They're
limiting them
not
to
selling them
2.
in stores anymore. I know they're still selling them online, though, and stuff.
Well, they're selling them in, like, small businesses. Like, there's this place called the Collector's Inn that actually is just a strictly card and comic book store. And
Right.
they'll get, like, 2 boxes of booster packs. But those will be gone within, like, a week at max.
Yeah.
When before they would be there for months. And people would come in and buy, okay, I'll buy a pack or something.
Yeah. It's just
Their
because,
Pokemon
like, they've
cards
been...
selling well all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's because they've exploded in popularity because a couple of, like, big name YouTubers decided to make some unboxing videos. Yeah, I think it was like Jake Paul.
Logan Paul did
It
that.
was Logan Paul. Okay, yeah, I always get the two confused because they're basically the same person in my mind. You know, one of them,
They are.
they made like a video of them unboxing like a bunch of old Pokemon sets and stuff.
Which
then
was
they
cool.
exploded in popularity. But it's like, I mean, like, it's been getting a little crazy for the cards.
Yeah. It's...
And just things in general. I feel like scalping and stuff has become such a massive problem recently.
Yeah, just...
Like, way more than it used to be. And it's
Oh, it's
always
always
been a big problem. Like, yeah, it's definitely always been a big problem, you know, don't get me wrong. It's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like they should just start making this shit illegal.
Yeah, like, you can get arrested for...
Well, they can't outlaw the secondhand market because that would be that'd be ultra shitty.
I don't know. I feel like if you're just buying stuff at retail price and then marking it up and reselling it, it's super scummy.
Usually, the best solution is just, you know, limiting the amount they can buy. They sell to a certain person. I mean, there's ways around that, but it still deters a lot of people.
Well, they tried doing that at places like Target and Walmart, but like this instance showed, the kids had bought the last 2 packs, and the dude was like, "No, I want the packs," and pulled a gun out.
That's a very extreme case, though.
I mean, yeah, but like, there's been other instances besides that. That was just like the last straw. There's been like physical fights, altercations over Pokemon cards.
Yeah, there was like
recently.
a clip in Walmart where people were like attacking each other over Pokemon cards. You know.
Which is just insane to me. It's
I
like,
think they also stopped selling cards in Walmart as well.
Yeah, no, both those places have completely stopped selling them.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back on topic. Anything else we want to say about the new Zelda Amiibo?
I don't know. I want to replace Skyward
nice.
Sword, but I don't want to pay $60.
Yeah, it looks nice, but I wish they didn't lock this feature behind it. I wish instead it just unlocked like an alternate color scheme for Link or whatever.
Your bird becomes blue.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Every time you put it down, it plays like a song or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I
A
don't
nice
know.
little hidden feature that doesn't really...
Actually, an amiibo that just opens up the sound test. That's a feature I'd pick.
Yeah, I think some of the Splatoon amiibos locked some songs behind that.
But
Like if you use the Splatoon amiibo, it would like unlock songs in the rhythm game minigame in Splatoon 2, I think.
A rhythm minigame is such a tiny thing, though. I don't about that.
I mean, it does multiple things. It unlocks a song in the rhythm game, and it also gives you an unlockable costume that's locked behind the amiibo. Yeah.
Well, all right.
I think we can move on to the next
Yeah,
topic.
what is the next topic? What do we got next?
It's the SNES/NES online update. They've
Yes.
coming out with new games.
Say more bad things about Nintendo?
Yes.
Feel bad.
It's okay. I don't think these are even that bad as that many people have been making them out to be, like lineup-wise. A couple of these are cool. I think Magical Drop 2 is neat. They got Joe and Mac in here.
Yeah. I'll play
I've
like
heard
that.
Spanky's Quest is like the weirdest SNES
Yeah,
game
look, the
ever made.
gameplay of that just looked bizarre.
Yeah.
They were like hitting balls in the air, like.
I haven't heard much about it. I just know it's super weird.
Okay.
It's like Bonk, but as a monkey. Or like, you know that game, Super Bonk?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. It's like that, but you're a
Oh,
monkey.
classic.
Now,
It's
are
that
these
level of weird.
so these
We get
games?
Evo Search for Eden. That's a good obscure SNES game I'd like to see. Just
Yeah.
shout that one out.
So these games, are they getting like remakes?
No.
No. Just
This is being released on the Super Nintendo online app on your Switch.
Oh,
For
okay.
paying for the online subscription, you get a bunch of old games.
Oh,
update 'em.
okay.
They're
That makes
supposed to
sense.
update them every month, but they only update them every like 3 months, which honestly I don't like. If you're gonna give me a bunch of garbage games for the most part, you could at least give them to me monthly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you're paying
Like you
money
promised that you advertised that I'd get new games monthly. I was expecting new games monthly, and I'm not getting them.
for it. Right.
Their online thing also said there would be a special like secret thing, and that never.
Like, that's what I'm mad
happened.
about Nintendo about, is them taking so goddamn long to update these fucking things. It's like, I don't mind if you don't give me Earthbound. I mean, I would like you to give me Earthbound, but like, you could at least give me like some new games every month.
Yeah.
And at least try to make them interesting. Like, at least you got Joe and Mac, but the fact that Earthbound still isn't
True
there...
Mac's not even that it's only interesting because it's a JonTron video that has a mild amount of views.
And
I guess that's right.
not gonna lie, who's gonna play Baseball Simulator?
Nobody.
Like, I'm just gonna play. I might as well just go play MLB The Show on my PS4.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I don't even
To
play
be
baseball
fair,
games.
There's a history there, man.
Yeah. I think this one has some weird RPG mechanics in it. You can shoot, like, thunderballs or something.
Well, I mean, that's okay. That's fair, but like.
All right, so it's automatically better than like MLB. I
Pretty
can't
much,
shoot
yeah.
single thunderball in that game.
But it's not as good as Mario Super Sluggers.
No game is.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Spanky's Quest is about. I've never heard that game.
You play as a monkey and you bounce balls around.
Pretty much.
I'm intrigued.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is the middle game top row? That's all
Is that
in.
the one with the frog?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the NES game. I don't know. I think it's a Japanese one that they finally localized. I'm not sure.
It looks like
That
there's
is
a
kind
ninja.
of-
Games that they've
No.
had, supposedly all these localizations have probably been lying around since like the 80s. Nintendo's just had them in a vault somewhere.
Yeah. Like, I heard Magical Drop 2, like, never released in America, but now it has, like, a full localized version
Yeah.
here.
Weird.
So, yeah. It
Nintendo
is-
probably has a bunch of localized games. I guarantee that there's a translated Mother 3 out there. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I don't need to release it because it's not going to be as good as the fan translation, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You know.
This game.
I do understand where everybody's coming from, you know, because every time they release one of these updates, it doesn't have anything people want, you know, and then people get mad. If it has at least one thing that people want, people will be like, okay, that's cool, but where's Earthbound?
When they finally get Earthbound, everyone's gonna play it, and they haven't played Earthbound before because everyone
Yeah.
who likes Earthbound has already played it.
It's like that one, no, it's like that one hard drive article where it's like, biggest Earthbound fan finally tries Earthbound
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah. I bet they won't even like it.
Yeah.
I played Earthbound for a few hours. I got to that stupid mushroom status effect that screws with my controls. It was annoying. I just never got around to playing it.
I can't believe they put that status in Smash.
No, it works. It works better in Smash than it does in an RPG.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is that a frog riding on a ninja looks like a very interesting game.
Frog's not riding on the ninja.
Or the ninja's riding
on the frog.
The ninja's riding on
And
the
that's
frog.
like a very common trope. That's like is in almost every ninja thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's based off of an old legend of like one specific ninja who had magic frog powers or something.
That's
giant demon frogs.
That's
and stuff.
Greninja.
Something like that.
That's Greninja
No.
from
No,
Smash.
Greninja's based off of that legend.
No, that's Greninja. He was the OG.
Nah, I don't remember the name of the dude, but there's like a famous legendary ninja who had frog-related stuff. He was frog-themed, and that's why frogs are so heavily related with ninjas.
You know, I don't find frogs very stealthy.
Nah, but they do jump, and they can
Yes.
eat things. They got big
Just like-
tongues.
It's like ninjas.
Yeah.
Alright, do we have anything else to say
but-
on this then?
Nintendo's Online's kind of just meh in general, but like
Oh,
I've moved beyond caring.
At
Like,
least it's cheap. At least it's not like Sony or Microsoft where they'll charge me $60
Oh,
a
at least
year.
Sony and Microsoft give you like a fuck ton of games.
That's true.
Doesn't Microsoft
do
give
have
you like
much more
all of
value.
Xbox Gold or whatever? Like, don't you get
Yeah.
like hundreds of games?
I mean, I'm still mad that all three of them charge for online. Thank you, Microsoft, for
Well-
giving everybody the idea to charge money for online.
Well, I feel like Microsoft did it the best though, because I, for one, owned the Xbox Game Pass, and I had like
Yeah, Game Pass actually looks sick.
I had access to games I didn't even think I had access to. Like,
Well, that's Game Pass. That's not Xbox.
No, that comes with their
Live
online now.
Gold.
yeah,
Oh,
that
it
comes
does.
with Gold.
They're connected.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is nice too, because if you pay for one, you basically get both. Because like
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if you buy Xbox Game Pass, you automatically get a subscription to Gold, for
Yeah.
however long the Game Pass subscription goes for. Like,
Yeah,
however
in
long.
theory, this should be like Nintendo's version of Game Pass, where it has all their classic games. But because they're taking so long to update them, we're still only on SNES. They're not even giving us Game Boy or GBA games,
Or
which I really
GameCube.
want. Like, do you know how many like great titles there's just sitting on that they're not doing? Like, holy shit!
God, imagine GameCube console.
Like,
Well-
they could. I just want to see Game Boy Advance so we can get some more Metroid games on the Switch.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice. I definitely
know?
play some old Metroid games
I want
on my Switch.
to play some Fusion and I want to play some Zero Mission. You know.
Remember when Fusion was only released on 3DS through the Ambassador program?
Ugh.
Anyways, I feel like Nintendo needs to step up their game with this whole
Oh, for sure.
monthly subscription for access to older games on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
They should, if they're just even if they're not gonna give me worthwhile games, they could at least actually give them to me monthly, like they promised.
right? Because with the Game Pass, they had already had like so many emulated games from the older consoles just there. Like, they didn't wait to upload them. Like, they have them all there. And then what they do is they release games that have already come out, like on the 360 and the One, that are actually really good titles. Like, for instance, like the Forza Horizon, which I played the shit out of that game, which is a racing game that I'd never played. And I used to be a big Need for Speed fan. And I played Forza Horizon 4, and I was like, wow, this is great. I had never tried it out. And that was strictly because I got the Game Pass. I never would have bought the game on its
Right.
own.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. Like that's how I got into Metroid.
Right.
They threw Metroid on the NES Online app for it was this. You know, they threw it
Oh
on.
my god,
the
you
NES
played the
Online.
NES version of
I
Metroid
played
One?
through the NES version of Metroid, and that's how I got into
Oh.
Metroid.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, I'm in the mood to play some classic NES games, and I've never played Metroid before, and I'm interested in trying it, and I'd like to start at the beginning. I want to start at the first one, so I decided to do that. I cheated a little bit. I didn't like use the rewind feature. I save scummed a little bit, in the final
Did you Google
area.
a map of her?
But I googled a map, and I basically
Okay.
used a map for the whole game because, playing through a Metroidvania without any map, I'm
Sounds
not
like
gonna
hell.
wander around for hours, going nowhere,
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed my time. I had a lot of fun playing through Metroid 1. And because of that, I ended up picking Samus Returns up on the 3DS. I enjoyed that. And then when they threw Super Metroid when they updated with the SNES Online, I played through that and I loved it as well. And now I'm a big Metroid fan. But they won't give me any more Metroid games to play.
I mean, I feel like that's how the monthly subscription should work. They should.
So how many
there.
more decades until we get Prime Trilogy?
I don't know. They better put out Prime Trilogy this year.
I don't know.
They better do it. This isn't even something that I really want them to put out Prime Trilogy. I need them to put out Prime Trilogy. I'll explain later. Not later in this episode, but later in the future.
Yeah.
All right.
But I need it to happen.
Mystery.
Anyways, let's move on to the next topic, which is
a new Timesplitters game.
Yes.
Got announced to be in development.
I pretty much just know Timesplitters from Osmosis. I know gameplay-wise it's very similar to Perfect Dark, which in turn is very similar to GoldenEye.
Yep.
They're console shooter versus shooters,
Yeah. It's a bit of a cult classic. I've never played a Timesplitters game, but I have heard a bit about it, from here and there. Mostly that people would be like, man, I really want to see Timesplitters come back. That's the main thing I've heard. And the really cool thing about this is it isn't just being rebooted by a totally new studio that just picked up the IP. They're just like, let's just redo it by whatever. What happened was the original development team, the founders of it, got back together and are rebuilding the studio, essentially.
Interesting.
And this is the first project they're doing. So it's gonna be headed, it's gonna be directed and stuff by the original directors and everything.
Huh.
So this is gonna be a faithful, true to form reboot with the original creator's vision. And it's not just some other random person picking it up, which is the coolest part about the story to me.
Yeah.
Now, I figured you guys know more about this game. I've never heard or played this game, so could you just explain it to me?
You ever played GoldenEye on N64?
No.
No.
Damn, I can't use that as a point of reference.
So
you ever play a shooter?
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah. It's just a first-person shooter, essentially.
It's an arena shooter,
Okay.
Yeah.
More or less mobility than some of its contemporaries, but
right. Okay.
still kind of arcadey.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard quite some good things about it. It's a bit of a cult classic.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've never got around to playing it because I don't want to play a FPS on a GameCube.
Has there ever been a PC emulation mod with mouse and keyboard support?
Probably is, but I think it's probably janky. I know GoldenEye.
I know there's GoldenEye had one of those.
Yeah, the game I hear is way better for it. Timesplitters, I know that's a big reason people wanted a new release because then we'd be able to play Timesplitters on PC.
Yeah. So I'm
I
even as someone who isn't a fan of the series, I just think it's super cool that the original creators are getting back together and they're making a new one these years later. And I know from the fan reception I saw when it got announced that a lot of fans are happy.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm very happy for them. We deserve nice things. Just in general. People deserve nice things.
Yes.
I mean, we play their games that they make. We should at least, get rewarded in some form or fashion.
Well, I mean, if the game's not good, don't play it.
I mean, that's fair.
It's not even like that. It's just good things should happen. I'm happy that you know what I mean. It's good when good things happen.
It's like fun things are fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But yeah, do we have a release window?
No, it was like just announced. They like literally are like still in pre-production and stuff.
right.
Okay.
They were just announced that they're getting back together, and the first thing they're gonna do is a new Timesplitters game. So this is probably like maybe 5 years to even further away. You know, I mean, it depends. They could pump it out in 3 years if they get all the pre-production stuff over with really fast. Who knows?
Yeah.
It depends on how quickly they form the full team, how quickly they get all the
How ambitious it
ideas
is.
together and figure out what they want to do with it and stuff. You know. So really, we have no idea how long it'll be till it actually comes out. But the fact that it's being developed is very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. They're, you know.
Yeah, reviving a old IP. Yeah, it's very cool.
It's always nice to see a company revive an old IP that was actually decent because.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I haven't played Timesplitters, but just in general for other old IPs.
Mm-hmm.
When's the new Darkstalkers game, Capcom?
Yeah. I mean, this was like a new Timesplitters happening was such a like long shot in the dark thing that the fact that it's happening is like
I've heard people make
it's
jokes
a miracle
about
and a half, basically. It's the equivalent of like seeing a pig fly.
Yes.
You know, because like the studio that developed it, you know, they closed down like years ago. So the fact that they're reforming and they're actually making a new one is like crazy. But I don't really have much else to say on it outside of that.
Yeah, same here. But let's move on to Monster Hunter news.
Yeah. So there's gonna be an event happening on May 26th, and they've already said what they're going to show off and talk about. So we'll just go through this real quickly. They're gonna show off. I think it was the 3.0 update for Monster Hunter Rise.
Correct.
They're gonna talk about that, and they're gonna show off a new trailer. I'm pretty sure for Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Yeah, which is called Wings of Ruin.
Mm-hmm. That's the
That's
subtitle.
the title.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think they're also gonna talk about some like minor news about it, as well as the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happening May 26th.
Okay.
I think they're set around 7, if I'm correct, because I'm looking at the actual Monster Hunter website right now.
Yep. So we'll talk about this when next week after it happened.
Correct.
We'll talk about what they showed off and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not much to say now because nothing has happened. We don't know what's gonna exactly be, like all the details.
That's the thing is we already do know what it's gonna be, so we can't even speculate because we know we're gonna see the new stuff for Monster Hunter Rise, whatever's in that update, and then the new trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 2, and so you know we kind of know what's gonna be there, so we can't really speculate. But we can't speculate enough to guess what exactly will be in the trailer, you know?
Right.
So I guess we can just move on to the next topic.
Which is Overwatch 2 news.
Yeah, there was like a big Overwatch 2 event. We're not going to talk about every little thing that happened in it. But the biggest takeaway from this was essentially that they decided for Overwatch 2 that they're going to switch the competitive multiplayer mode, or just the basic multiplayer mode, to instead of being 6v6, it's going to be 5v5 now.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of understand that from a balancing decision, but also, you know, it's a sequel. You think they want to go bigger.
Yeah.
Make it like 10v10.
Well,
or, you know, just actually copy TF2 like they're trying to do and just make it 12v12.
I mean,
you know, the game would probably be more balanced if they just went full chaotic 12v12 matches.
That might be a mess.
Well,
it would allow more people to actually play the DPS heroes, since there's so many of them and they're so varied. You
Well,
know?
what they were trying to do is they originally had tested like a 4v4 and a 7v7
Mhm.
team composition size to see like how that would play, but they're like their goal for Overwatch 2 is to make it easier to understand for new players, which makes no sense to me because majority of your player group that's already playing the game.
I don't think Overwatch was that complicated to begin
It
with.
wasn't. It was already TF2 baby mode, you
Yeah,
know?
it pretty much.
It's
pretty
such,
gentle.
I mean, to be fair, Overwatch does do a really, really good job of teaching players how the mechanics work. You know, you can just hop up on the, like, you can pause the game and it will tell you what all your abilities do, and it doesn't take long to figure out how to use them.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
a lot more simpler than other games in its genre.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
It's
is
a
both,
gentle
which
learning
is
curve.
both a strength and a weakness. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and easier in the sense like every character has an ultimate. The game modes are very simple. Like you're capturing control points, you're pushing a
Yeah.
payload, which already aren't in TF2.
Yeah, and other games like it. So,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. But I think their main reason they wanted to do the 5v5 as well is they wanted to take away the double tank because they
Yeah,
wanted
I
it
know
to
they
be a
mentioned
more
that.
they wanted to be a more hybrid damage,
Yeah.
especially with the support side because there's a couple of supports that have, even though they are supports and they heal, they have high DPS like Zenyatta,
Or
Brigitte, Moira, even Lucio.
Anne.
Yeah, Anna too. I for one play Overwatch all the time, so like it's
I haven't played Overwatch since like the year it came out.
right.
Yeah, I play it every once in a while. Or like I'll play a few matches every couple of months, maybe. You know, from time to time. I don't play it a ton though. I gotta be in the mood for it. But yeah, they are doing that with the meta where now instead of being 2D, like what was it, like
It was 2
2
DPS, 2
2
tank, and 2
2
supports.
support. Now it's 2 DPS, 2 supports, 1 tank. Which
Which-
honestly, I feel like the meta should be 3 DPS, 1 support, 1 tank.
Right.
If you're gonna do the 5v5.
I mean,
That's how I feel. And the reason for that I feel that way is because there's just so many more DPS heroes
yeah,
than there are support and tank heroes.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Especially with certain DPS, like in Overwatch, like it's called a hit scan character, and those are going to be your Hanzo, Genji,
Yeah,
Widowmaker.
because like they have
Hanzo's not hit
supports
scan.
that are effectively like assassin. They have DPS that are effectively, you know, assassin DPSs, but then they also have DPSs that are, you know, actual DPS
Yeah,
DPSs,
like
which
Soldier.
are two totally different things. You know, like a character that's designed for one-shotting people is totally different than a character that's designed around having consistently high damage.
Yeah, like
You know,
Ricola.
like Widowmaker and like Soldier 76 are in the same category, but they're totally different. They're not even
yeah,
like similar to how they work as a character.
like I mean, you do have the potential to one shot with Soldier, but like Widowmaker, if you get a headshot, it's an insta kill. Like Soldier,
Yeah.
you have to land multiple shots, maybe hit your Helix rocket. But
Yeah, the role is inherently different.
but Ricola, going back to you saying Hanzo isn't hit scan. Hanzo has the potential with his arrow to one shot, and he is a
That's not what hit scan is.
That's
Hit
not what
scan
hit
is
scan-
when you. Hit scan is what is a term for it's an FPS where the attack hits instantly if you click and you're pointed at them. Like
Yeah,
most
Hanzo
bullet
shoots a
weapons are damage.
projectile. Arrows
Okay.
count as projectiles.
Okay, so I do have a
No, like
misleading.
Soldier 76 is like his assault rifle is hit scan, but his rockets are a projectile.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just got the terms mixed up.
Yeah, I was just a little confused on what the term meant, but yeah,
Yeah.
you are correct then.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
I do feel like that idea is a decent like direction to head with the whole meta now, but at the same time
I think honestly, actually, after you said the idea of having less tanks, that could speed up the pace of the. stuff. So actually,
Yeah.
I'm a bit more
I don't
warm towards
disagree with, you know, their assumption that they shouldn't have as many tanks. Like, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, it
That
slows down the
maybe
pace of
not
the game, having
have two
sponges everywhere.
tanks. One tank should be enough. I don't know if they necessarily need two supports, especially since the supports in this game are almost entirely healing and shielding based, you know?
Yeah. But
Mostly
at the same time though, if you have a
like,
good,
do you really need two healers on a team that's only 5-man? Like, you know, like I just look at, like, say Team Fortress 2's 6v6 competitive scene. Because that was obviously what they were basing their matchmaking off of when they were designing Overwatch originally, was obviously Team Fortress 2's competitive scene. They even said as much, that they took a lot of inspiration from Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
And the competitive meta in Team Fortress 2, I mean, a lot of it's map-based for the most part, but the meta is like 2 soldiers, 2 scouts, a demo, and a medic. They have no tanks outside of arguably soldier, you know, the pocket soldier.
To be fair, everyone in Overwatch has a lot more mobility. Like, even their tanks have more mobility.
That's true.
TF2, if you want to play someone who's kind of chunky, you're sacrificing
That's
a
true,
lot.
to an extent. I don't know. Soldier is both less mobile and more mobile than, say, what was it, Pharah?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fire just
Because,
has
like,
the
Soldier, you can rocket jump across the entire map. You know, if you're good enough.
Yeah.
Pharah,
Pharah has that with
jump
less
up.
trade-off. She has that with almost...
It's her for free, you just have to wait for the cooldown.
yeah. And she adds a little bit of a gliding mechanic, but it's very if you don't know how to use it.
I mean, like, every character, you know, almost every character of Overwatch has a way to get around.
That's true. You know, like, even D.Va, who is a tank, can fly.
Which also, now that I think about it, making it one tank meta with 2 DPS, 2 healers is kind of gonna like make characters like Wrecking Ball and D.Va kind of like obsolete, because ideally in a competitive scene you're gonna want a shield tank, you're gonna want a Reinhardt, you're gonna want a Zarya on your team, because you want because like if the enemy team has a Bastion, like, I'm sorry, Bastion's like probably the most simple character in the game.
Are they gonna enforce you having one tank in a competitive mode?
Yeah, it's gonna be 5v5.
It has role queue.
Yeah,
you literally are not allowed to pick other characters outside of the role you're stuck in.
So yeah, they made it a role queue, and then if you play a certain amount of, like, so let's say you're DPS main, and you play a bunch of tank matches, the matchmaking MMR is gonna sense that you're a damage, like you're a DPS main, and the more games you play on your off role, you're gonna get these priority passes, which are like little tickets, and basically after a certain amount of tickets, you can get a free like high priority queue for your main role. So like if you get like, I think it's like 40 tickets, you can like queue up for your main role and you'll get in the game like instantly. Whereas if
if you want to play DPS in Overwatch, you got to play 3 games of support first.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know what? That's fair.
I mean, which it also forces people to learn the other roles, but at the same time, if you just suck at support or tank and you're like strictly a DPS, you're kind of just screwing over your team.
To be fair, if you suck at those roles, but you're only good at DPS, that's a problem if you're fundamental.
Yeah, because like...
To an extent. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with a game like Overwatch, you know.
I mean, tank can be decently hard. Because if you're in the mindset of not dying, and you're playing it, like, you're in the mindset of playing to just like one shot and get behind enemy lines, for instance, so you might not be as mechanically inclined to play as a tank, but support should be like the easiest role, like, period, because like you're just...
It depends on the character you're playing, though. Some supports are easier to play than others, you know.
But I haven't played a support Overwatch in forever, but it's something like TF2, I argue medic is the hardest because you're juggling everything.
That's true. You do juggle a lot of bullshit as medic. You're completely defenseless, and no one wants to defend you, despite the fact. And
you're the highest priority target on the planet.
Yeah. Despite the fact that you're the only reason why they're even alive right now.
Yeah. I've Overwatch.
There's so many times in TF2
I haven't played Overwatch
in
forever, but I remember
I just switch off because I'm just like, I'm the top scorer, and everyone on this team is too booty cheeks for them to, like, they obviously can't handle having a real medic on their team. I'm gonna have to play the game for them, essentially.
In Overwatch, I haven't played it in forever, but I remember every support usually had a way to defend themselves. Even Mercy just had a lot of ways to get out of. since you
Yeah,
didn't have
because she has
a
like
good
the
weapon.
gliding and stuff.
Yeah, she had a way to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Supports were pretty easy to play for the
Yeah.
most part, what I remember.
Honestly, I find Mercy extremely boring to play in Overwatch, where I find Medic extremely fun to play in TF2. And it really comes down to one key difference is that Medic has overheal and Mercy doesn't.
Also, Uber.
Yeah.
No, that is something that didn't take from
Uber would be
TF2.
freaking because Uber would.
Well, Uber is
Uber's a
effectively
very
just
busted mechanic
Medic's
intent.
ultimate, you know. Except in Overwatch, everybody has an ultimate.
Yeah.
You know.
So essentially, they kind of did take it, but they gave it to everybody.
Like, imagine in
and-
TF2 if everybody had, like, an Uber equivalent. Although, I guess you could technically give it to Soldier if you give him one of the banners.
Yeah.
Nothing can be as powerful as 8 seconds of pure invincibility, though. Uber is
Yeah.
a intentionally game-breaking mechanic.
Yeah, well, you need it in order to make certain pushes. There's a lot of points in TF2 on, like, certain maps where it's like, if you don't have an Uber push here, you're just not going to be able to push into this point.
Exactly.
No amount of team coordination is going to get through 3 sentry guns.
Yeah. But, all right. Anything else?
Overwatch, cool. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully this direction actually works out.
Yeah.
And maybe if it doesn't, they'll change their minds and switch back. You know, I wouldn't be too surprised if this doesn't actually work out, that they'll be like, you know, maybe 5v5, maybe something else instead. And they'll switch it up again. Maybe go back to 6v6.
Who knows? 6v6 could just be a game mode.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like they should just have more DPS characters. Or maybe just split up the roles, you know? Instead of having 3 roles for a 5v5 game, I don't know, maybe have 5 unique roles and actually split up the character bases so that Hanzo and Widowmaker aren't in the same role as, like, Torbjorn and Soldier 76, who are like...
Yeah.
All those... There's so many DPS characters, and they're all so varied that I can't believe they're all in the same singular role, you know?
You know, roles could be a tricky thing to define because, I mean, geez, that stuff changes, like, throughout patches, like, their role could change.
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, I can understand. It's hard, especially with how they have their matchmaking set up. I mean, the matchmaking in Overwatch is honestly kind of atrocious. If you're just trying to play a normal game with role queue and stuff, it takes forever. I find matches in TF2 faster.
And that game's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like the matchmaking in Overwatch is a little, like, wonky.
To be fair, matchmaking Overwatch, don't you need a full part? Don't you need everyone on every side for it to start a game?
Yeah, you do.
I mean, like TF2, you could jump in there with no players, and the server will still play.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
How the current TF2 matchmaking is that it will try to find you a full server or close.
Yeah, we'll try.
And
we'll try, but it doesn't have.
And it will prioritize starting a new game on an empty server with a full group of people.
Mm.
Although TF2 has its own matchmaking problems with all the robots and stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to notice.
At least Overwatch doesn't have that, so it's got that going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, not really much more to talk about Overwatch 2. Just hopefully that it's actually, with all these changes they're making, it actually is a good change and not just completely fucks over the game and then people don't play it anymore, period.
Hopefully the adjustments they are making, you know, are better than what they currently are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Hopefully it's a change for the best.
Yes. But moving on to the highlight of my night, the next and last topic, Knockout City.
Yeah.
This is
came
that
out.
game with the weird trailer, was like an orc.
Yeah. It was the game with the trailer at the one Nintendo Direct and the Sony State of Play. It had the trailer with the pixelated princess and the orc and the Call of Duty guy. And then they all decided to play dodgeball.
Right.
Yes. So it is 3v3 dodgeball epicness. I
Yeah,
assume. I
it
don't know.
came out. It's currently free right now.
Yes, it's in trial,
It's like there's a 10-day trial period from when it started,
which was
so it's
Friday
still
night,
free to play. hmm So you can try this game out for free right now, see if you like it.
which I did, and I'm gonna
I haven't.
talk
Yep.
about it a little bit.
hmm
So
How is it?
for starters, the gameplay very smooth, very fun. It's pretty. I feel like the whole 3v3. I feel like it should be like 4v4 or 5v5 because the maps are decently sized, and you're like a pretty small character in them.
Like
Like-
your mobility options in there. Like, how do you get around the map? Like,
So you have a run mechanic, like your bread and butter run
Yeah, yeah.
mechanic, which
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
shift, and then you have like a tackle, which you can actually knock people up or knock them to the side, or you can actually use it to knock them off the map, which actually kills them and gives you a point for your team. But it's a first to 10 every round, and it's a best of 3. The other mechanic is you can use that tackle in midair as like an air dodge, almost. Where I think you still can get hit, but it's like if you're about to get like the ball thrown at you, and you don't want to get hit, and you can't press the whatever like the catch button, like if your opponent times it
Right.
perfectly, whatever, you can air dodge.
Because you can like catch the ball to effectively parry it, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
it does work timing based. So like if you which they actually do it like on different, so if you get like a perfect catch, however fast or like however long the ball was charged up thrown at you, you'll get that same charge up and you could throw it back immediately at that same rate. So if it's a full charge
Right.
and you catch it with a perfect, you can throw it back at a full charge. Whereas
So this isn't like real dodgeball where if you catch the ball, the player dies.
no.
Okay. So you still have to hit them with the ball in order to kill them, even if you catch the ball they threw at you.
Correct. And you have
Yeah.
two you get go ahead.
if you could always parry it, then what? How? I don't know. What stops stalemates from occurring when everyone's just really good at?
I don't know.
Well,
you can like
Well,
couldn't
what
you like tackle into them, stun them, and then throw the ball at
so,
them?
So yes. So when that happens, you usually, if you're playing with somebody or if you have a good teammate, they'll tackle them because it knocks them, like it stuns them for a second, and you can hit them instantly with it. But
Right.
also, if you're really good at dodgeball in the game, you can actually just stall your throw. Because I've done it a couple times where I was facing off against a couple decent players where they kept catching my balls. So what I would do is I would catch their ball, but I would wait a second or wait 3 seconds or just a random period of time, and I would like time their parries to see, because you can see like a little circle when they try to catch it, and you can wait and stall it out to throw it, and it works 9 times out
so
of
you
10,
can like do a bait throw to trip them up.
pretty much.
Nice.
But yeah, you get it's first to 10, and the way you get a point is by eliminating somebody, and you have to hit them 2 times. So you get 2 lives, like 2 hits per life, and you respawn. There's no like you're just dead for the round.
Right.
But
It's
what?
not like CS:GO.
Yeah, it's not like CS:GO. But what is cool is the different types of balls. So like you have your standard one, and that's just a regular dodgeball. You could charge it up to like a really slow throw or a really fast throw. And then there is the cage ball, which the cage ball essentially, I've never used it, but from what I've seen, I think you can trap an opponent inside of it for like 5 seconds or something, and they basically can't do anything. They can roll inside the ball, like they can actually physically roll the ball, but they're stuck in it.
So they can still move around while they're in the cage ball, but they can't like perform any offensive actions.
Exactly. So, and then the next one is the bomb ball. So this one is super annoying, in my opinion. So this thing, I'm pretty sure if you you can it's like a ticking time bomb. You pick it up and you hear it ticking, and if you time it perfectly, the opponent can't catch it. I'm pretty sure, because every time
so
I've
it's like
gone,
cooking a grenade.
yeah, if you throw it perfectly, you could just literally knock them out. And I'm pretty sure it's an insta kill, because every time it's happened to me, I've gotten both my lives knocked out for that life.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Could you like at least dodge out of it? using the dodge move.
Yeah, but it has a decent, like, it has a pretty decent blast radius, so you have to kind of be,
Right.
like,
So,
pretty
and the
good.
dodge move doesn't give you any iframes or anything.
No, no, it's not like Smash where you get like, invincibility frames for a second.
Right. It's not like Dark Souls.
Yeah, not that. A cool one though, which cool mechanics is the moon ball, which is I'm pretty sure the direct counter to the bomb ball. The moon ball, it looks like a rock from like the moon or something.
Right. Like a little meteorite or
Um,
something like
yeah.
A
that.
little moon.
Yeah, it looks
Baby
like
moon.
yeah, it looks like a baby moon, and what it does is it gives you 0 gravity, so you jump higher. But I'm pretty sure you fall
But you're
fast.
floatier.
Yeah, you're a little bit floatier, but you can also use that to just kind of like, you know, disorient your enemies from them throwing
Right.
at you, and a cool mechanic also, you even if you have a ball in your hand, you can still parry. So like it's not like you have to have your hands free to parry a ball. So
Yeah.
that's cool. What was the last one? I feel like there was one more. Oh yeah, the football. The football. There's a football and it's called the sniper ball. And essentially what that
Okay.
is, you charge it up and it's like a laser beam. Like not literally like a laser beam, but it's like your sniper for the game, for instance. If you line it up and throw it, it's like faster than every single other ball and it has an actual laser sight on it.
Okay.
But
So it's kind of like the direct hit in Team Fortress 2.
yeah.
For your the sniping purposes, as the name implies, though, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, there's one more ball, and that's the multi-ball. So the multi-ball it's silver, and essentially what it is exactly in the name. There's a giant call out in the game because I'm pretty sure it's like a rare occurrence to spawn. You get 3 balls for 1 throw.
Ah.
So
Fun.
it launches 3 at once.
So it's kind of like getting the triple shell power up in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
When you
then
said multi-ball at first, I was thinking more like the bouncer in Ratchet and Clank, where you throw it out and then it explodes into a bunch of little balls.
right. And the mechanic with the multi-ball actually is if you charge it up, you can throw 3 at once. But if you don't charge it up and just do like a quick one, it curves and you can aim it left or right. So it kind of disorients the opponent in that aspect because they're expecting a ball to come straight on at you, where this one's going to curve at you left or right, and you can choose which way that goes.
Oh, cool.
But
Isn't there also a mechanic in this game where you can turn your teammates into balls, or they can turn themselves into balls, and
right,
you
right,
pick
right.
them up?
Yes. So
Awesome.
I don't know exactly how it works because I never thrown myself into somebody's hands, but somebody's like fallen into my hands. I don't know if like you have to walk up next to them because I haven't actually tried, but I have knocked somebody out with my own teammate, like thrown them at somebody. But I feel like it also is a mechanic to launch your teammates across the map, because what
Right.
I've done is
So it's like both a mobility tool and an offensive tool.
yeah.
I wonder if like people can catch teammate balls. Like, what happens then?
Like if the teammate throws it at a teammate.
Well, if a teammate like picks up their teammate and their ball form, and then they throw it at an enemy, but the enemy parries it, right? And they catch the ball.
I don't know what happens there because that's never
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
At least yet for
Oh,
me.
something we have to test out.
Yeah, something we'll have to test out. Well, so far though, the game plays really good. I like the variance of each dodgeball. One thing that I don't like about the game is the fact that there isn't enough spawn points for each ball. Like I find myself in certain sections of the map where there's just nowhere to be found a spawn point for the balls because they essentially spawn on these little pads, and you'll still see
Yeah.
they're like hovering above the ground, so they're pretty easy to spot. But like if you're unfamiliar with the map, which I've actually gotten familiar with a couple of them, and I've noticed that there's certain sections of these maps where there's just no ball spawn points to be found. Or another thing is just the rate that they spawn. Like I find myself standing near this one ball spawn point, and I was there for like at least a good minute. And like I would think like these would spawn pretty frequently, especially because it's kind of
Probably some spawning rules that you'd not get in. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like maybe it has to like the ball that's supposed to spawn there, it has to despawn, like in play or whatever. before
Yeah,
it
something like
respawns.
yeah. There's probably some rules there.
yeah,
Yeah.
there probably is, but like from just
I
starting.
think the spawn rate is supposed to encourage you to play with your teammates. That way, if you don't have any balls, but you need to like are in a combat situation where you need to attack an enemy, one of the team members can turn themselves into a ball, so you can do that. Utilize that mechanic.
Yeah, I could see that. I've kind of a couple matches just been freaking going ham though, like just looking for a ball spot and then just going right after an enemy team, because I've actually gotten pretty decent at parrying already, because it's actually really easy, and it's really fun to just like perfectly catch a parry and then just laser somebody right after. Like 9 times out of 10, they're not expecting.
Yeah, you royal guard their ass.
You're right, but.
Oh, this game is just competitive royal guarding. You're right. I gotta play this.
But aside from the character customization though, I find I don't know like how I feel about like the actual faces of the characters, because everybody just looks weird, and I don't know how you can make yourself an orc, because that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna be an orc, but I don't know if like you have to unlock that or pay for it or something.
I don't think you can. I think that was just a weird trailer.
Which would suck, because I wanted to be an orc. I wanted to be an orc just owning you
Yeah,
in
this is
dodgeball.
false advertisement.
Right.
Where's my pixelated princess character? I wanted to be a pretty princess. I wanted to be a pretty tomboy princess.
But yeah, honestly, like it's pretty fun. It was everything that I was like hoping from this game to be. Definitely not more. Like, it's not going above and beyond, but it's a pretty fun dodgeball game. And what they've done with it so far in this beta, I feel like it's really good.
Well, it's not a beta; it's the full release.
Well, yeah, it's a trial.
It just has.
Is what I meant to say.
No,
The
it's just
trial.
a free trial version. Yeah.
But I feel like the game itself plays really smoothly. The idea of a best of 3 match, 1st to 10 each round. I wonder how the ranked system is gonna work. If there is a ranked system, I'm sure there is gonna be.
Yeah, I just think it hasn't like opened up yet because it's it's only been a few days after.
Oh yeah. I don't expect them to
No
put a
point
ranked.
in testing your skill when the game's a day.
Yeah, I don't expect them to put a ranked match up until the actual like you have to buy the game or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of which, I wanted to ask, after you've tried it out and stuff, do you plan on buying it when the free trial is over?
oh, most definitely, I'm buying this game.
Yeah, because it's only like $20, right?
Yeah. 20 or 30, I'm pretty sure, but I'm most
Are you
definitely.
playing it on Switch, I assume?
I played it at my girlfriend's on her computer, and I played it
Okay.
on my computer a little bit. But I also
Okay.
watched a couple people play it just to get like a second opinion, see how other people were liking it, and pretty much everybody was saying the same thing I was from who I was watching. So, I mean, it's definitely gonna be on my list of games to buy. I'm definitely getting this. It's definitely what I hoped it would be. It's very fun. It's very fast paced, how dodgeball should be. There's some mechanics that aren't in actual dodgeball that are pretty cool, like the different types of balls, and the if you catch the ball, they're not out. It kind of like if you're like a good player facing off another good player, I feel like it's gonna get intense. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's I had a lot to say, but that's pretty much everything I had to say. I cannot wait to actually buy this game and like deck out my character, and because they do have a lot of like different coats you can wear, a lot of different hairstyles.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure for playing in the free trial version, you unlock exclusive gear and stuff, right?
I don't know
like,
if I don't know if it's directly unlocked, because I haven't unlocked. I've unlocked
I
basic
think
stuff.
it unlocks after.
Yeah, after the
it
game.
goes.
Yeah.
Like if you buy it after playing the free trial version.
Right. But I have definitely unlocked some certain like basic things like new biker gloves that you can wear. I got like these like wrist wraps that look pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's definitely one of my games that I'm gonna be playing for a little while. But
Alright.
any things you guys heard that you would like to share about it?
How long is the trial?
It's for 10 days and it started Friday night, I want to say. So probably
Okay.
going till. So if it started Friday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's probably going till Memorial Day.
Okay. Maybe I'll pick it.
But yeah, it's free. You're gonna have to sign in through Origin, just for warning you. So you might need to remember your Origin sign in or make one.
Yeah.
But hey, I recommend it. And if you guys wanna try it out off stream, I would be so down to play it because it is 3v3. So we would be a team of 3.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
Yeah, we'll have to form a competitive team for this.
the Substation,
Gaming.
yeah, the
We'll become
Substation
a-
Gaming
just-
Knockout
yeah,
City
just
team.
whatever. Yeah.
But
Gonna become esports stars. There we go.
that'd be something. But yeah, I think that was our last topic for tonight.
Yep.
Thank you for everybody who followed this stream. It looks like we got 5 new followers.
Oh wow.
Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and check out our YouTube where we post all of the previous podcasts every week. And be sure to tune in next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.